Once upon a time, two brothers who lived on adjoining farms fell into conflict. It was the first serious rift in 40 years of farming side by side, sharing machinery and trading labor and goods as needed without a hitch. Then the long collaboration fell apart. It began with a small misunderstanding, and it grew into a major difference, and finally it exploded into an exchange of bitter words, followed by weeks of silence. One morning there was a knock on John's door. He opened it to find a man with a carpenter's toolbox. "I'm looking for a few days' work," he said. "Perhaps you could have a few small jobs here and there, and I could help you." "Yes," said the older brother, "I do have a job for you. Look across the creek at that farm. That's my neighbor. In fact, it's my younger brother. Last week there was a meadow between us, and he took his bulldozer to the river levee, and now there's a creek between us. Well, he may have done that to spite me, but I'll go him one better. See that pile of lumber carrying by the barn? I want you to build me a fence, an 8-foot fence, so I won't need to see his place anymore, and that'll cool him down anyway." The carpenter said, "I think I understand the situation. Show me the nails and the post hole digger, and I'll be able to do a job that pleases you." The older brother had to go to town for supplies, so he helped the carpenter get the materials ready. Then he was off for the day. The carpenter worked hard all day, measuring, sawing, and nailing. About sunset, when the farmer returned, the carpenter just finished the job. The farmer's eyes opened wide and his jaws dropped. There was no fence there at all. It was a bridge stretching from one side of the creek to the other. A fine piece of work, handrails and all, and the neighbor, his younger brother, was coming across with his hand outstretched. "You're quite a fella to build this bridge after all I've said and done." The two brothers stood at each end of the bridge, and then they met in the middle, taking each other's hand. They turned to the carpenter, hoist his toolbox on his shoulder. "No, wait," said I. "Stay a few days. I've got a lot of projects for you," said the older brother. "I'd love to stay on," the carpenter said, "but I have many more bridges to build. Every day we have a choice of building fences or bridges. One leads to isolation, and the other leads to openness. Don't equate making mistakes with being a mistake. There is no such thing as a successful person who has not failed and made mistakes. They got it right the next time. They viewed mistakes as warnings rather than signs of hopelessness. Never making a mistake means never living in life to the full. It's the voice that's telling you that you will, only can do, accomplish, or reach very little, or even sometimes simply nothing. Thoughts create or magnetize our personality and attitude. Dominating thoughts will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical actions and gradually transform into physical realities. The thoughts we have from the time we wake up will definitely determine our attitude and our day. We bring to our lives what we think about most of the time, and where we guide our focus and our mind is where we'll end up. Luck favors the prepared mind. The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is just simply trust them. Take action now. If you're ready to increase your income, work from home to be with your family, pay off all your bills, travel, and provide for more in you and your family, click the image below, enter the email, and watch the whole video as our friend Adam explains the system. Your family really deserves it, and if I can do it, so can you. This is Vince Pangori.